clicked on it early.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What was that?
What was that?
Hold on.
Hold on.
All right. I think your headphones are on. And it's getting an echo. I mean, your speakers are on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but okay, now it's gone.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, welcome to episode number 4. Starting to cook now, and with me is my co-host Stogie Side. Now's your cue to speak.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, this your boy Stogie. Keep it nice and simple. We got a little Fort Mose tonight. Like I said, you could check me out on Stogie Side on YouTube, Stogie Side on IG, and we got a little Jaime Garcia tonight. Jaime, Ron, you smoke cigars?
Funny you should ask.
Yo,
I happen to have Black Cohiba.
Oh, what is going on out here?
And so you don't drink alone tonight.
Oh my God.
Proper 12.
What is that? Proper 12?
Ready to go.
Hey, he's drinking with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about, Ron.
Yeah, I couldn't leave you alone on this one.
And he got him a little whiskey glass. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Talking that cash. I'm sipping on Fort Mose tonight. This was the first time I tried Fort Mose. And this is a phenomenal brown liquor. And as you guys know, I'm not really a white liquor drinker. No tequilas and vodkas, although I'll do that if I'm on vacation. But when I'm sitting out vibing and I'm enjoying me a nice stick, this is Jaime Garcia. Jaime Garcia, just so you guys know just a little bit, this is the Reserva Especial edition. This is more like a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. So if you look at the stick, it has like a darkness to it. You can see that. That binder, that's the wrapper, I'm sorry. The binder is Honduran, and the filler, that's this portion here. That's that there. The filler is Nicaraguan. This is about a 5 1/4 inch stick, and the gauge is 52. So that gauge means the circumference of the cigar, right? Just for those who don't know. But I like to give a little education on the cigar. This feels very heavy in your hand. Pause. I know that sounded kind of crazy, but this is a very thick stick. I like to smoke these at night. Although I'm not going to smoke this tonight, but I just wanted to kind of give a special shout out to this. So Jaime Garcia, and we got Fort Mose, and we go from there. So appreciate you. That's a little bit about your co-host, Stogie. We will always give you something to smoke and something to drink and give you different options with that.
See, we're a full service podcast here. Not only do you learn about Harleys and talk Harleys, but you're going to learn about cigars and whiskey.
Absolutely.
So, one-stop shop.
And a little bourbon, too. And a little bourbon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's my first time trying a proper 12. It's pretty good.
Okay. I'm going to try that. I will go get some, and I will go get that. Is that a whiskey? What is that?
Yeah, it's Conor McGovern's.
Oh, that's Conor McGregor.
Right. McGregor, yeah. See,
Okay.
I'm already wasted from this one sip.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Yeah, he hand delivered it to me in person.
No kidding.
No.
Man, did he do that? Did he do that?
Yeah, that's how he walked up.
Did he drop it off like that? Hey, I love Conor McGregor, man. I tell you, that boy got more swag. Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
was in
has.
Ireland. I wanted to go to his restaurant, but I never got a chance to get over there.
You went to Ireland
But
before?
yeah, Ireland and Scotland last year. It's pretty
Oh
good.
man, hey,
Hell of a
listen,
trip.
I want to ride over there through that country. We're gonna talk about that
I
in a
would
little.
too.
Yeah,
I thought about that. Flying in, renting a bike, and going
yeah.
through the countryside. It's
Well,
definitely
by
a ride of it.
they don't really do those ultra limiteds over there in road glides. Those are more like Pan Americas and metric bikes, right?
Yeah, you get your BMW like 1200s. That's
Mm,
pretty popular. Something like that.
mhm. Yeah,
Okay, so we
absolutely.
got. I'm already being made fun of here. Happens to be my number one fan, so I'm not even giving him a shout out. GG.
Uh-oh. Hey, Gigi. How you?
And Rick's in Charlotte.
Okay. What's up, Rick?
Welcome to the show. So
Hey, Rick.
tonight,
My
good.
family
Sorry,
from
good.
Charlotte. That's what's up. My family's from Charlotte. That's some good riding up there too, in Charlotte. And they had a phenomenal whiskey bar up there. Can't remember the name of it, but they came in and they were. I just remember going to a whiskey bar up there, and it was man cool to go see those guys and hang out with that. So yeah,
Yeah.
give your favorite son a shout out. Hey, it's all good. She be sports. Hey, it's all good. But yeah, man, that's so would you everything been going good this week, Ron? How's everything going?
Yeah, just work. Had to
Hmm.
take my bike out today.
Hmm.
Little 40-mile run, not far. Had to go
Oh,
an errand to run, then come back. Weather's 81 degrees today. A little breezy. Wasn't bad at all.
hey, listen, 40 something miles is far for a lot of people. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. That
Let's
was
go right
the,
into that.
that was perfect segue. That
There
was
you go.
I threw you the lob, Ron. I threw you. You see how I threw you the lob? But yeah, man. So it's funny we talked about that, right? 40 miles. How far is far, right? So I had a customer come in and he says, "Man, Stokey, I want to get on my bike." And he was so excited. I never see nobody excited about this. And he says, "Yeah, I want to ride and I want to get my bike and I want to go really, really far." And I was like, "Okay, all right. So where you thinking about going?" He says, "Man, listen, I want to go a long, long way." And I was like, "Okay, all right, that's cool. Where you want to go?" He says, and then he's kind of like hyping me up. And he says, "Well, yeah, man, I just want to get on the bike and I want to take me and I want to take my wife and we just want to ride and I want to just ride." And I was like, "All right, where you gonna go?" You understand? He says, "Yeah, to Miami." I said, "That's 52 miles south." He was making it sound like he gonna ride to Connecticut. So I said, and so that's what kind of made me understand how far is far. It's all relative. It's all relative, and how far is far. My general question is, what type of bike do you ride when you're doing that? Because how far is it's kind of like you get on a Sportster and say you're going to ride cross country. uh I got a lot more respect for you. Right, like,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah, I got a lot of respect for you if you could do that. That Sportster is no joke, a wonderful bike, but it's not designed to be ridden across country, right? Softails, wide glides, Dynas, although they did that back in like the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s when people were doing that. But that's not common in our era of riding today. So would
No.
you ride a Sportster cross country, Ron?
No, I wouldn't ride a sports to the store.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with the Sportster?
It's good if
Say that
you're
again.
female.
Oh man, that's too funny. Hold on, let me silence this because these people
I'm
driving me crazy.
fine. It's not my style.
What's not your style?
A Sportster.
Oh yeah, the sports is not your style. Okay, yeah, you more of a big bike guy anyway. You understand?
Well, the Pan America, it's not really a big bike, but I'll tell you
You
what,
don't
like
think?
today,
Wait a
I was
minute.
riding.
You don't think the
What?
Pan America's a big bike?
It's only 500 pounds compared to the almost 1,000 on the street and road glides.
Okay, all right. Interesting thought. We'll talk about that too.
Okay.
So what was
Riding today,
your,
the Street Glide. It was windy out, but um, I don't know. I feel like the Pan America is better for long distance. It's just
it's better
I,
than what?
well, I had that street. Well, let me back that up.
Hmm.
Road Glide is better on like I-95 or something like that, especially when you get trucks next to you and the wind's kicking.
Hmm.
And I think the Road Glide is obviously the best for that. I think everybody would agree with that. Street
Okay.
Glide's second to that, in my opinion. But the Pan America just cuts through the wind. It was amazing how that rode. I could cruise at 90, no problem.
No kidding.
And yeah, it felt great. And if you have to get out of trouble fast, it's a lot
Hmm.
easier with that bike than with, a bigger cruiser.
Man, that's an interesting thought because I would have put the Pan America over the Street Glide for sure. Not the Road Glide. That Street Glide, that's a very popular bike, but I'm just not really. That's not really my thing. I think I like the Pan America more than I would the Street Glide. Um, but for evasive maneuvering, I could see where you could get that from. Having to get out of a bind in a pinch, I could see where you could get that from. As far as the Pan America over the, would you agree with that, or you like the Street Glide better?
No, absolutely. Because there were times that I almost went down in Canada on some gravel and I was going way too fast for the turn. And
Mm-hmm.
that bike just stayed up. It's amazing. I would have
Mm.
went down on a Street Glide, probably.
Oh damn! And you would have scratched that blue steel up, and you would have been pissed.
I would have left it there.
Oh no! Don't leave
I
the
can't
bike
ride it scratched up.
there. Yeah, don't leave the bike there, man. That's not cool at all. That's not cool
No,
at all.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, so yeah, man, but yeah, that guy was telling me I had another client come in and says to me, Stogie, I want to ride cross country. So I was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like cross country is a respectable ride. You can really do it if you put your you put your energy into it. He says, how long is it going to take? I said, well, you can get over in about 4 or 5 days, and then you can get back in about 4 or 5 days. So comfortably, you'll need about 9 to 10 days if you want to do it comfortably. If you're really pushing and you do 1,000 miles a day, you can get back in about 5 or 6 days. Right?
Yeah, but who wants to do that? That's
Yeah, no,
and
you wouldn't want to do that, but circumstances change. Maybe they really want to do it. Maybe they're working and they can't get off, 10 days,
true.
but they still want to ride it. Maybe their wife won't or their husband won't allow them to leave the house for that long.
Yeah, you
But
got to change that
that's a
one.
say that again.
You got to change it from wife to husband on that. I mean,
Hey, listen, so because it's a lot of female riders out here too, and their
yeah.
husbands don't ride, and they don't want them ride cross country for 10 days, and they try to give
Well,
them a time.
the husband's got to stay home and do the laundry.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You understand? I know it's very popular. I'm telling you right now, it's very popular.
Hmm.
But yeah, the guy says, so I want to ride. I want to ride real far. I want to ride out to California. So I asked him too, what type of bike do you want to ride? So he was like, yeah, I'm going to take a street glide. I was like, okay, you could do it on that. So I said, what's the furthest you ever rode? He lives in Palm Beach now. He says the furthest he ever rode was Orlando. So the furthest road you ever did was 200 miles, and then you're going to jump out there for the very first time to do a ride that is 2,000 miles, 2,600 miles, give or take. That's a 5,000 mile round trip, buddy. You better be a little bit more experienced than that. I promise you, because you're gonna get to about Texas and be ready to throw the whole bike away.
You think he'll get that far? I mean, never ride before.
Nah, I think he can. He can muscle it to Texas.
Well,
You
if you
know,
don't have the
yeah,
right seat, you ain't making it to Texas. Tell you that
yeah,
much.
that's
Because
true too. Hey, but
you gotta have the right gear.
hey, listen, that seat is very important. When I did my first cross country, I was on a tall boy seat. What kind of seat did you have on? Did you have any extra cushion on that Pan America?
On the Pan America, I bought a Saddleman seat. First,
Okay,
like I told you before, the first thing I do is I get rid of the Harley seats. I hate them.
you
But
get rid of them that quick? I like
right,
that one on
first
mine.
day.
First day, damn.
Yeah, I
He
can't.
said first day it gotta go.
The exhaust and the seat, first two things to go.
Mm,
But Um, so anyway, I put the saddleman seat on, which is pretty good, and I
Mm-hmm.
forgot I have a wild ass cushion. I don't know if you ever seen that.
A
Wild
wild
ass,
cushion.
wild ass. It's called. It's got little pockets of air in it, and you kind of blow it up to what you like, and it goes over your seat, and it's just perfect.
Oh
Right?
man,
You don't
I
have any
gotta look
pain or
into that.
anything.
I
Oh yeah,
never heard
definitely,
of
it's
that.
worth it.
Hmm.
So I
How
didn't
much
have it
was
with me. Huh? How much?
it? Mm-hmm.
Maybe give or take, depending on how big a seat you have.
Mm.
But I forgot mine at home. Took everything with me. I planned for a year on this trip, and I left my wild ass seat home. I was so
Oh,
pissed.
I know you
By
was
the time I got to Georgia, my ass was killing me. So when I got to Missouri, I
mm-hmm.
bought another wild ass cushion. So now I got two. But
Man,
I highly
okay.
recommend those.
Wild ass. I gotta try that. I'd never even heard of that, to be honest with you. And I mean, is it like a gel in there? What is it like?
No, it's uh, while you're talking, I'll pull up a picture of it. But
Okay.
actually, I wanted while we're talking about long trips,
Mm-hmm.
um, if you're going, let's say from here to California, let's
Mm-hmm.
use that for example, or say a 2,000 mile ride.
Mm-hmm.
The first day, do you like to do extra miles, or do you just divide it evenly amongst the days?
The first day I push, I start. I'm gonna probably start at like 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna push as far as I could push that very first day, and I'm gonna try to hit Texas on the first day. That is gonna be my first goal. Texas from
First day,
Yeah, first day, yeah. Because
that's
if
an
I
iron
do,
butt ride right there.
yeah, because the thing is that I want to. So coming from Palm Beach, it's a little different, right? We've seen Florida 1,000 times, so it's nothing to see in Florida for us. It's nothing exciting about riding 95 or the Turnpike or I-10. Those are the ways out of Florida, or 75. Either way you go. So those highways are nothing sexy about that, nothing exciting. So I would push as far as I can to get to the area that I'm not familiar with. So if I'm going to California, I'm going to try to get to, if I'm taking 20 side, I'm going to try to get to Dallas. If I'm taking I-10 across the bottom of Texas, I'm going to try to get to Houston. That's what I'm going to do. And so from 2 in the morning till about maybe 8 at night, 9 at night should get me there. That should get me there, and I should be able
How
to
many
push.
miles is that? That's a
That's about
thousand.
1,000. Yeah, it's about 1,000 miles.
So
Yeah,
you're doing an iron butt just
yeah.
off the tip right there.
Just off the day, because I know once I get through Texas, Texas is its own beast. Like if you've never ridden
Hmm.
cross country, Texas is its own animal. That state is the most bipolar state when it comes to weather. It's like in the morning it can be 30, and in the evening, in the afternoon, it can be 114. It's like
Wow.
a very weird state as far as weather. When you're talking about how far is far, right? Far to me is getting on the bike for a couple of days and riding for a couple of days to get to a place. Far to
Mm.
me is not 50 miles or 200 miles or 500 miles. That's kind of like up the street, round the corner kind of thing. So that's kind of what it is. But as far as the do's and don'ts of long distance riding, I mean that is like my main thing is don't overpack. I remember on my first long trip, man, I took clothes for day. When I tell you I had enough clothes, you would have thought I was going on a cruise. I had so many jeans and so many different outfits that I was going to wear. And when you start getting out there and you're really riding, you only really need about 3 pairs of jeans and maybe 4 or 5 shirts. You can buy dollar shirts or $10 shirts at the gas station, right? But to get there and to get back to pack all of that stuff, I found that when I ride a lot, I pick up stuff along the way, right? So like I'm shopping, I'm finding stuff, I'm stopping at different Harley stores. I'm stopping at different things that I want to see. Like I remember riding to Detroit one time, and I stopped at the Corvette Museum. And man, I bought a little. I wish I still had it. I thought I had it right here. I had a little Corvette like this, and I thought it was the coolest thing, and I wasted my money on it. But it was something to say that I bought from the Corvette store, and I didn't have any space to have it. Um, and then I started GPSing post offices because I would buy the stuff and mail it back to the house. I would ride it to the post office, mail it
Wow.
back to the house. So that was, those are a couple of different things. But as far as another one of my top major don'ts is make sure that your arms are fully sleeved. Right? I don't care what the
Mhm.
temperature is. If it's 30 degrees outside over 114, make sure you are covering your skin while you're riding because it will the sun will do it to you.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the sun will do it to you, and it will turn your skin. I still to this day, right here, I did a turn and burn, basically like a 800-mile trip in one day, and I rode up and I rode back just to have lunch, nothing major. I went to Jacksonville. It was a little spot that I like right off of Bay Meadows Drive up there in Jacksonville. Forget the name of it, but it's right off Bay Meadows. And I went to go up there to have lunch, and I came on back the same day. But I rode I had a cut off shirt on. To
Yeah.
this day, that was about 8 years ago. I'm still darker on my arms and on my head. That was 8 years ago. My chest is lighter. Just understanding that concept. So, everything that I'm telling you from as a long distance rider, I promise you, it's a little different animal. It's a whole different beast. So, what
Yeah.
is yours? What are
I
some
always
of your?
get burned in the stupidest places, like inside my hand. I had like a gap in my glove, so the
Mhm.
two the two little parts here next to my thumbs were burnt. So like everything was white, but it was burnt right there.
That's
But
funny.
you're right though. But the problem is when you go in different states. Like my next trip, I'm doing um, Florida to Mexico, and I'm not doing it like you. I don't do 1,000 miles the first day. I'll do like 700, roughly around there. But I'll leave like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock, and
Mhm.
try to ride to about 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then relax, and then I'm gonna split it up. So I'm gonna go from here to Mobile, Alabama,
Mhm.
Alabama to Richmond, Texas, I believe. Richmond, Texas to Monterey, Mexico.
Hold on, hold on. Is Richmond, Texas, south of Houston?
Yeah, I'm pretty much skirting right along the south end
Okay.
of the
Is that
states.
before Galveston?
It's after Galveston.
Yeah,
I've
for
stayed in
sure.
Galveston on my road glide, but it's after Galveston. So that puts me only a couple hundred miles away from Monterrey, Mexico. We're going to spend a night, and then to my location in San Miguel de Allende, where I'll be spending a few days. But like what I was talking about is my first day I'll do 750 max, and then I'll
Mm,
break it up into 500-600 mile stretches.
okay. Well,
But
you got more vacation time than me.
exactly. I got the vacation time, so I'm not going to kill myself. Now,
Right.
like you said, if I only had a week off, I'm going to do 1,000 miles a day,
Mm-hmm.
but
That,
it's not fun.
yeah.
But
The
that's just
when you do yours, are you a guy that stops at every Harley, or do you enjoy the ride, or are you more of the just push the 700 miles?
well, that's just it. When I went to Alaska, I two little side trips I did because they were within reach. So I went to Mount Rushmore,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not big on sightseeing, so I just went there and kind of went to the parking lot, paid my admission to the park,
Mm-hmm.
looked up at it, took a picture. All right, nice. See you later.
Wait a
Took
minute,
off.
Ron. Hold on. We got to talk about this. You went to Mount Rushmore, took a picture for 2 seconds, and left.
Yep, I was there. That's it. It's good enough for me.
Man, come
I'm not
on,
going to go
Ron.
there with 500,000 tourists and bump into everybody and look around. That's not my thing.
Well, you know what? In fairness, when I went to Mount Rushmore, I was there at 9 o'clock at night, so it wasn't a lot of people out there. I'm assuming you went during the day.
Yeah, it was early, like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, all right. That makes sense now because when you're walking up to Mount Rushmore, they got all of the state flags and when the state started and all of that kind of stuff
Yeah, I
going up.
didn't see any of that.
Oh, come on, Rob, man. Hey, so with Mount Rushmore, was it kind of like for me, it was mesmerizing. Like it just amazed me how at that time those people they roped down and chiseled that into the mountain. You weren't
Yeah.
impressed by that? Like it wasn't a big deal to you?
I guess I didn't really get close enough to see it.
Right. Hey,
And then
Ron,
the
we
other
were
stop I made on the way back was Graceland. I went there and checked out Elvis's house.
okay.
Did my own thing. Didn't take the tour. Went ran around everywhere. Took video I wasn't supposed to take, and I left.
Uh-huh. Just took a picture and left from Graceland too, huh?
Took a bunch of videos. Yeah.
Hey man,
That was it.
you hard on the team, man. Ron, it'll be hard for me and you to ride because I promise you, I go to that's my son back there, y'all. But it's hard for me. It's hard for me and you to ride because I like to sightsee, and I am the guy who, let's say, I'm riding, and I see something I want to do, and I get off on that exit, and 5 exits down, it's something else I want to do. I will stop then also. Right? Like
Mm.
I'm kind of a spurt of the moment kind of guy. I don't really I don't let the day I don't let the event stop me or anything like that. But I definitely like I definitely like getting out there as far as, pushing as far as I can on the first day because, like I said, I've generally seen everything in the state, and Florida probably is the third largest state outside of California and Texas. So riding from
Mm.
uh, Key West to Panama City, that is about a 17-hour ride, and most states, Texas can do a 17-hour ride. California, you can do a 17-hour ride. I don't know any other states where you can do a 17-hour ride and still be in the same state.
Well,
So I try to,
In New
huh?
York, it takes you 17 hours to go from Brooklyn to Staten Island
You know what? Hey,
because
listen.
of traffic.
Hey, that I think it's the George Washington Bridge. Man, I got on this bridge, Rod, and that bridge cost me $32. They sent me a bill in the mail for $32. I said I only went one way. Man, listen, I think I think I still owe in New York because I ain't give them that $32.
You probably got a warrant now for your arrest.
Hey, listen, I might. I just might, man. Don't ride through New York, guys. I'm telling you, it's savage up there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
another thing that it was funny. Remember how you talked about how you had the tan right here on your hand when you with the glove, you had the little hole in your glove. You had the tan. Well,
Hmm.
I had some gloves that had the Harley emblem on the knuckle where it was open, and it burned the Harley emblem into my hand. I thought I was like, I didn't even realize it until I got off the bike one night and went out there. So that was pretty cool too. One of my last major do's and don'ts, or I should say, you make sure you do, is stay hydrated no matter what the temperature is. Right. So
Absolutely.
whether it's 30 degrees outside, 40 degrees outside, or whether it's 102, if you ride, let's say you have a road glide or a street glide, and you're Pan America too, because any bike with a 6 gallon tank or 5 gallon tank, you're generally going to ride about 200 miles, which is called a leg. Okay, right. So you're going to ride your
I
first leg, huh?
When I ride, I kind of try to do 100 miles. That allows me to get off, get gas, not have to worry about running out of gas, drink
Hmm.
up, go to the bathroom, and it
Okay,
just makes it easier.
okay.
But
You know,
that's
so
just me. I mean, it's just what I
that's
like to
okay.
do.
Listen, this is the purpose of this podcast, right? To give people different options, right? You ride
Mhm.
100 miles, I ride about 180 to 200. I want to stretch my whole tank out. I want to burn through that whole tank of gas while I'm on the road. Like I don't want to stop as much as I don't want to stop that much. Um,
Especially if you're not getting 93 octane.
exactly.
You get like you stuck with 87, you don't want to get that out of there as fast as possible.
Hey, listen, man, I put some 87 gas in my bike one time, Ron. That shit said, pop, 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 pop. I was like, never again. Never again will I do it. Never again will I do it.
Yeah, you can run
So
into it in Canada a lot. A lot of those places don't have higher octane, so I brought a little octane boost with me.
no
Use it a couple
kidding.
times. Yep.
Man, I gotta become an international rider. I'm gonna try to get that in the
You could
schedule.
grow up and be like me one day.
Hey, listen, one day, you know what I'm saying? Except for that Trump hat right there. I don't know if I want to wear that Trump hat. You know what I'm saying? But
You
he's my
should wear it.
president now, so I might have to rock one.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey man, listen, I swore I wasn't gonna go political tonight, Ron. I'm not gonna do it, okay?
I'm not
I
going political.
don't
Anybody can
don't
vote
don't
for whoever they want to vote, but
don't
at least you'll know
exactly.
who I voted for.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
And I
But
respect anybody wants to vote another way. Go for it. It's up to you.
hey, listen, I'm gonna run for president. You think Stogie for president would be good? I wonder how I would handle
You're gonna be
international affairs.
president of Palm Beach.
President
Go
of
for it.
Palm Beach.
Yeah, I'll vote for
Hey,
you then.
you vote for me? Hey, listen, I'm gonna go post up in Trump House at Mar-a-Lago. Me and Trump gonna go ride Harleys together.
There you go.
Hey, but nah, man. On a more serious note, so yeah, back to that. Back to the part about where was I going with that? Dang, I lost my train of thought. Talking messing with you about Trump. Um, I think I was saying about riding the gas. I was I was thinking one more point. Man, I lost my train of
Well,
thought on
actually,
it.
while you're thinking, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'm gonna try to share my screen here,
Mm-hmm.
and so we talk about wild ass.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Oh, wrong play. Add to screen. Yeah. Oh, damn. I just missed it. I just missed it. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
basically
there
go
it is, right there.
wild-ass.com, and these are all the different kinds of seats they have.
Oh, look at
So this
that.
is over.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. Oh man, I might have to get me one of those.
It's a game changer. I'm telling you.
And it's only $250. Oh, that's easy right
Well,
there.
that's that one. There's all different models. Depends on what you ride.
Hmm. Oh, $100, $200. Okay, those are good price points. Yeah, those are good price points for that. Yeah, that's good price points.
It's
Yeah.
worth it. I'm telling you, worth every penny.
Yeah, for
All right, let's go.
sure.
Let's talk about bike names. A lot of guys don't name their. I don't know.
Say that part again. It went out on me.
What's the name of your bike?
So, man, I'm going through I'm going through an issue right now.
What does your bike? Since you vote the other way, what does your bike identify as?
Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't never said how I voted. Well, we not gonna go there. I just said the Trump hat. I was just making fun of my president. You know what I'm saying? He my president. I
Okay,
never said how I voted. You know what I'm saying? Would it be bad if I voted for Trump?
bad.
Yeah.
No, you'd be on the winning side.
Would
Let's
it be
get off
bad if I
politics. We're
voted,
probably gonna piss off somebody.
would it be better if I voted for Kamala?
No
Oh my
comment.
god. You're too
So
funny.
what?
It's better
So
than the
what'd you name your bike?
So the first, so I, if you follow my channel, I have I just purchased a 2009 Road King Classic, and it's a turquoise and antique white, bike, and I haven't came up with a name yet for it. I can't I feel like a name should come natural, right? I
Yeah.
feel like a name should come natural. I don't feel like it should be forced upon me. When I had my bike, Big Sexy, man, Big Sexy. I'm gonna tell you how I got that name. That bike. Hold on one second. Hold on one second for me. Lester, turn that down. Oh, my son is something else. So anyway, the my bike name was Big Sexy, and when I was standing right in the dealership, when we pulled the bike in, one of the porters pulled the bike in. And when he pulled the bike in, I said, damn, that's a big bike. The lady right beside said me, it sure is sexy. I'll never forget that. And Big Sexy was born, right? That's kind of how I got the
She
name.
was talking about you though.
And she could have been, you understand? And listen, I
You
could
know
get it.
that's your new name, right? That's your new name now. I'm putting in my phone as Big Sexy.
Hey, listen, Big Sexy. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard for him to get off me. I can't help it. but nah, man. But yeah, that was too funny, and that's how Big Sexy was born. And so now when I have this bike, I just don't know what to name it. But I do believe in naming the bike. I am definitely that guy. And it doesn't matter if it's a guy's name or a girl's name, whatever comes natural to that bike. So some guys, I've heard some guys call their bike Anarchy. You know, that's not a female name. That's kind of like a guy name. I've heard some guys call their bike, you know, the slut, the mistress, you know. And so it just kind of depends on, you know, your personality and your type. You know, I felt like Big Sexy on that bike fit me with that bike. But this one, this Road King, man, I really have no clue what to name this bike. No clue. Do you? What's the name of your Pan America?
My Pan America is Spartacus.
Oh, that's a good name. Listen, that bike. Every time I see that bike, it feel like it's going to transform. So Spartacus is like a that is a very strong name because that bike is
That's a strong
extremely
bike. Went a long way, kept me out of trouble. It's Spartacus. It's a
for
warrior.
sure. For sure. Oh, Spartacus, that's what's up. What did you name the CVO?
Crixus. You probably don't know what that's from.
You said
Crixus was a
Francis? What is it?
Crixus. It's another. It's from the Spartacus show, the series.
Uh-huh. Nah, I don't know that
His
one.
main guy he fought against was Crixus. So Crixus and Spartacus.
Okay,
That's their names.
Crixus and Spartacus.
I don't know. It just fit.
And didn't you have something else too?
I had the Road Glide before that,
Okay.
and that was Anubis.
Man, what is it with you and these? Is that Greek? Is that kind of Greek thing?
Anubis is the god of hell, I guess you call it. I don't know, like Egyptian god of the underworld.
Okay. All right, no doubt.
Don't ask me why. Just it
I
looked
was
good.
about to say you went a little deep on that. Princess, do you have a name for your bike? I see Princess still in here. Let's see if Princess have a name for her bike. Hope you answer that, Princess. We'll see. We'll come back to you. But my very first bike, my very first Harley name was Sarge. So I
Sarge.
was about to. I really wanted the bike to be an army green, like on some Captain America type shit, and I wanted to be army green, and I was gonna name that bike Sarge, and me and Sarge rode around. I never named it. I never painted it green, but the bike was still named Sarge. It was
Okay.
still named Sarge. I
Yeah, but
had
you chose that name before you even met the bike.
before I even met the bike. I knew
So
the color of
your bike's got to make its own name.
nah. Well, see, that's the beauty in it. Like I can do what I want with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do what I want with it. I could do what I want with it. Yeah, so I think that's a. Oh, look at Princess. Her bike named Cisa. What the world? Where you get
Sessa.
Cisa from?
Sessa.
Yeah, where you get that from, Cisa? Is it like Caesar, like the king of Rome? Is that Cisa? I like that. But and then I had a 2016 Road King, and his name was King. And then I had a 2017 Lowrider, the purple. Uh, Cisa, the gray one is Gray Goose. Oh, okay, okay, okay. The purple one is Cisa, the gray. She has a. I sold Princess her bike, by the way. The gray. She bought a gray. I think it's a 2021 Road Glide Special, and she called it Gray Goose. I like that. That's kind of cool.
That's good.
Yeah, that's kind of cool in there. I don't remember what the purple bike was. I think that was a metric bike, like a Honda or something. That's what she traded in. But I digress. So I had a 2017 lowrider, and I named that one Do Boy. That bike would do anything I tell it to do.
That's a good name. I like that one.
Yeah, Do Boy. That bike would do anything I tell it to do. If I said go fast, that bike had everything. If I said stop, that bike stopped. You know, that bike was really Princessa is Spanish for my name. It's pronounced Cesa. Okay, all right, Cesa. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that's what's up. So
We got to rename this the Princess Show.
I'm trying to tell you, hey,
Princess
Princess,
Podcast.
we might have to get Princess live on here with us one day, Rod.
Yeah.
Hey, she did she rode the Four Corners trip too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she rode it, and she got caught in on her street glide. She got caught in snow. I forgot where it was, and it was snowing on the bike. Uh, I don't remember where they were. They were somewhere out west. I want to say Idaho or Wyoming, but I don't remember. But I just remember when they came off of their Four Corners journey, she went with two other girls, and when they came off, I hosted them at the dealership, and kind of like anytime I know somebody's doing a long ride, like 3, 4, 5 days, if they're doing something like that, I try to host them at the dealership, and have stuff for them. Ryan, me and you had just met before I started doing this, so it was it was a little different when you went. But that's Wyoming. Oh, it was Wyoming. She had snowed on, yeah. So yeah, man. So one of my I'm looking at this here where you got the story time. So one of my favorite bike stories. I'm gonna give you a good one, Ron. Okay. I was in Ohio. It was 90 degrees outside. Okay. Heat beating off the it was beating off the highway. You know how you ride and you can feel the heat?
Yeah.
Like the heat is part of the bike, like it's hitting you in the face. So I'm riding and I look up ahead and it's about maybe 100 yards ahead of me. It's an 18-wheeler flatbed and it has big rolls of hay on the flatbed, like rolls of hay. It had to be like at least 6 to 8 feet tall. And in the fields, when we were going along 90, or when I was going along 90, it was fields of hay that was about 6 to 8 feet tall. Also, you could look over to the right and see the fields of hay. And 90, it was just running right through it. So I see a guy on the 18-wheeler while the truck was moving. He gets out the passenger side while the truck was moving. He climbs up onto the hay. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Now, I'm about 100 yards ahead of him, so I couldn't really see who it was, but all I could see was the man moving. He takes his knife and flicks it like this and pops that knife and pushes one of the barrels of hay off the back of the truck. So I'm watching the hay roll down the street. Like it was crazy to see it happen. The guy was pushing it. And then he pushed another one and pushed another one. And I'm on Big Sexy and I'm riding it and I'm like dodging the hay. I'm like, new, new, new. I'm dodging the hay. And I'm like, what is going on? Out of nowhere, I hear, I hear a weird ass noise. What happened was I was hallucinating the whole time, Ron. There was no truck. There was no hay. I was riding the motorcycle across 3 lanes of highway, and I was going back and forth across the highway. Didn't even realize I was doing it. And the screeching that I just did of the tire screeching was people trying to slow down the traffic because I'm just drifting all over the highway like that. That
My
was one of
God.
my wildest stories on a
I
motorcycle.
think you should limit your amount of riding at one time. That's crazy.
Hey, Ron, it was because I didn't have no water. Like I needed to
Ah.
hydrate. That was the problem. I had just finished riding, and the sun was beating so hard, and I didn't ride, and it was crazy. And when I got off the bike. So, for those of you that don't know, when you're trying to cool the temperature on your body, your hands, your feet, and your head are the quickest way to cool temperature, to cool the body. So, I went inside the gas station, poured a poured I bought a 1 gallon jug of water and poured it on my head, poured it on my hands, took my boots off, poured it on my feet, took my socks off. I'm trying to cool my temperature of my body down. It took half the gallon of water to do that. And then I drunk the other half a gallon water and sat there for about 45 minutes, got myself back together. But that's the story of why you should always, always, always ride. Uh, well, you should always drink water every time. If you don't have to pee when you get off the bike, you're not drinking enough water.
No. And if you're thirsty, it's too late.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
you
Yeah.
gotta
If you're
drink.
thirsty, it's way too late for sure.
Uh,
So, yeah. So that was a That was a good. That was one of my favorite biker stories right there. You got
No,
any
it's
good ones?
imaginary. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's
my
definitely.
two my there's favorite stories, but yeah, just crossing over Canada and crossing into Alaska on that last trip. Those are like major milestones. But as far as stories,
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw the one video where I tried to beat out a tornado,
I
and
did. I did see
that
that
shit
one.
was scary, and there's nowhere to go. It's you can't pull over anywhere. It's like I had to go through it pretty much.
Man, what
And
I remember you had a video where the you were like strapped down on the bike.
yeah, that was another time. That was after that. I already been through the tornado. I made it through somehow. I don't know how I lived on that one. I thought for sure I was getting blown off the road.
Oh my
Made it
god.
through that. The next day, um, it beat rain again, and I looked at the radar map and it looked clear. So I start
Mhm.
going, and I'm about to get over this bridge, and I get hit with like 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's just like it was bad.
Man,
And
that
so
gust
I
is something else.
and this was in Nebraska, I think,
Hmm.
or Montana. I don't remember, but so I pulled over to the side of the road, and I couldn't get off the bike because if I would have tried to get off that bike, it was like right alongside the swale. I would have went down, so there's no way I could even get off the bike. So I
Hmm.
had to stay with the kickstand down and lean into the wind, like have my
What
whole body hanging off the bike until the wind died down a little bit, and
was
then
the
another
the
storm
wind?
came behind that. Hmm?
The wind was going the direction of the way the kickstand
It
was going
was
on the
going like
other
from
side of the
left to
road.
right, and I was leaned into it,
Oh man,
so I couldn't get
Lord.
off the bike.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I had a
crazy.
little bit of a lull between storms and started kicking up again. So I just took a chance and blasted through that wind and got out of there. And then
Man,
the next day was even worse with 35 to 40-mile-per-hour gusts. And it was crazy. There was no shelter. There's nowhere you could go, nowhere you could hide. You're
mm,
out in the wide open plains there. It's scary,
yeah,
but it made me a
that's
better rider.
hey, listen, on TV, they always have a bridge somewhere where you can go under the bridge, or they always have like a space in the middle of a field where you could go. You could go anywhere.
Nope.
You was
Every
just
little
stuck.
town I stopped in, there were no buildings even big enough to stop the wind. And it was coming from every direction.
Damn,
It
that's
was crazy.
crazy.
Uh,
Think about this. Was you thinking about like what were you thinking about at that time?
I'm not too normal. Like I don't get scared.
Hmm.
It's weird.
You
It's
wasn't getting
and
scared when a tornado was right there with
no,
35
that's
mile an hour, 50 mile an hour winds.
there's something wrong with me. It's like either it's like all right, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna get through this. It's I
Oh
don't
my
get.
god! You know what?
It's just. But the funny thing is, as much as I feel like I have no fear in my life, I don't. Nothing scares me.
Hmm.
I took an MRI today.
Uh huh.
I couldn't take the claustrophobia. I had to like panic, almost got out of
Oh
there.
my god!
So I was a
You
big
in the
baby with that. But
oh
a
my god,
tornado I could ride through.
tornado! Hey, but that sounds just as bad as me because I go hurricane riding. When it, I wish I would have had my bike when Milton came because I would have rode up to Tampa. I like the hurricane ride. Like I like to get in the hurricane and get in those. And I've gotten up to it too. I've ridden in a tropical depression, tropical storm, category 1, category 2, hurricane. My first hurricane that I did it in was Wilma. Wilma was my first one, and right before it became a Cat 3, I caught it when it was a Cat 2 because when I go hurricane riding, I don't really do it like 4 or 5 hours. I go out there for like 30, 45 minutes. I try to go live. I report the hurricane from the hood because
Oh shit.
they always report something different on my TV, and what we actually see is something completely different. Have you ever noticed that?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's
It's
completely
not. It's not.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the
It's
same.
all for effect, though. They try to
Yeah.
make it look a lot worse than it is.
For sure, because they swear up and down Miami is underwater or Fort Lauderdale is underwater, and it's like two streets that's underwater, and they got the
Right.
camera crew out there recording those two streets. So I used to ride around saying, "Hey guys, it's not as bad as what they think it is. We are not underwater down here. That it's not a tsunami. Miami Beach is still alive. It was crazy." But yeah,
That's
man,
got.
just my cat 2 was the biggest one. The cat 2 was the biggest one I caught. Riding through the crazy part was the Cat 2 was the strongest one that I went through. But when I rode through the tropical depression, I was coming back from Tennessee. And I was coming back from Tennessee. And you know how in Florida, it rains like in pockets, right?
Mhm.
Like it'll rain hard for 20 minutes and then it'll be the sun will be out and it'll rain hard for 20 minutes, but it pours when it rains, right? This was the first time living in Florida where it rained all day. Ron, when I tell you it rained all day, I never did a 12-hour ride, and the whole ride it rained. It rained so much that I got used to being wet. It rained so much that you don't even need the rain suit anymore. It's pointless to wear the rain suit now. That's how
Mhm.
much it rained. It was really intense to be able to ride and stuff like that. And you're like, man, what am I doing? Like, where am I going? I can ride in the rain and I can ride in the cold, but I can't ride in the rain and the cold. I can't do
Uh,
both of
I
them.
I I can ride. I always have the right gear on, but it seems like my fingers get cold. That's the only thing I hate. But I had some really good gear this last time. I had the Latitude climb Latitude jacket and pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive, but I was completely dry. It was the best. It was so good.
Man, so
So you pay for it, but it's worth it.
on your rain gear, it didn't seep down through here.
No,
The
I didn't
rain
get
didn't
wet
get
anywhere. Got wet a little bit on my boots, so I probably will replace those boots that I
in.
got
Mm-hmm.
for my next ride.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't bad.
Man, you
But I
got
drove through a
lucky.
lot of rain.
Yeah, I could imagine. Hey, listen, hey, I might start calling you Tornado Ron. You know what I'm saying? Tornado Ron. Hey, listen, man, we gonna come out there, Ron. Listen, Tornado Ron and Hurricane Stogie. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Get
So,
your shirts
hey,
made up.
hey, if we started, it should be a podcast called Tornado and Kane.
That'll work.
Oh,
We
look,
got some comments to catch up on here. We missed a few.
hey, Princess asked you, Ron, what gloves do you prefer for the heat?
Uh, my favorite gloves. uh, hold on, I
Is she
just drew a
saying
blank on the name.
heat like heated gloves, or is she saying heat like when it's hot outside, you have a certain pair of gloves?
I don't know which ones. I usually don't wear gloves locally,
Okay,
only
so if
on
it's
a
hot,
trip.
you don't really wear gloves. So
No,
let's just
but
answer this if it was heated gloves.
I wear. I'm trying to think of the name of the company.
Mhm.
They're really good gloves, and they actually have a little magnetic thing on it that you just put it on your tank when you take it off.
Did you does yours plug into the shirt, or you just have a battery operated, or is just the actual glove? Is nothing in there?
I don't have any. I don't have battery. I don't have heated gear at all.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I had. I'm gonna answer both of them. If I'm riding in the heat, because I like to wear gloves when I ride, but I like the fingerless ones. You know how they have the gloves that's fingerless. I like to wear those when I ride. And then if I'm riding in the cold air, Harley has a heated glove that connects to my sleeve, and I plug it into the sleeve, and then the jacket connects to the connected to the battery pack, and then I like it's all like I'm all plugged into the bike, and I'm getting heat, so I can ride in 20-degree air with those gloves, as long as I got the heated grips on. Those heated gloves are okay, but people think that they're designed to keep your fingers warm. They're just designed your fingers not to get frostbitten. If you're riding in really cold air, they're going to get cold still. It's not that they're going to stay nice and toasty. You just want to be able your fingers to do this when you get off the bike. You know, if you get caught out there without gloves on in that 20 or 30-degree air, when you get off, your hand is going to be stuck like that. You know, it's it's not a cool feeling. Yeah, it's not a cool
No,
feeling. Have you ever got frostbite on the bike?
no, not.
And I know that's not common down here in South Florida, but I rode to North Carolina and learned my lesson with that. It was 29 degrees out there, and my hands literally got stuck like this. When I got off the bike run, I almost passed out, bro, because I had to I had to get off the bike like this. I rode in that cold air for so long, and my body just stiffened up. us warm blooded people. We don't know how to act. You down here in South Florida, you part of the tropical climate people too. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But that cold, those gloves really help, especially on different stories that I have on different stories that I have. So anyway, man. But
Yeah, I'm looking for the gloves that I have. Did a review on them.
you did a review on your channel. You did a review.
No, I did like a short on it. I think that I can
Oh,
find.
okay, okay, okay. Outside of the gloves, I also had some heated pants. Did not work. Once again, they just designed to keep your thigh and your butt warm, but your lower legs is what you really need warmed, and it's not, and it didn't do that at all. It didn't do that at all, but it was still cool to have the stuff. That way, when I got off the bike, my knees weren't as bad, so it kind of worked there too. So I was kind of cool with that. Mhm.
I can't find these stupid gloves.
I got one more bike story while you're looking for that. Right. I was in
Okay, I gotta yell
Idaho.
at my dog. So go ahead. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Okay, there, no problem. So yeah, I was in Idaho. I was in Idaho one time, and when I'm out there, not Idaho, Montana. I was in Montana, Butte, Montana, home of Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel is the most famous biker in the history of bikers. There's not a biker more famous than Evil Knievel. Okay. And so I'm in Evil Knievel's hometown in the hotel that he owned. Can't remember the name of it, but they had Evil Knievel stuff everywhere. So one of my routines was when I go on long rides is I like to start early. So this particular morning, I started at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I go outside because it's July when I'm riding. I get on the bike. I'm trying to go downstairs. I got on a t-shirt, some jeans, and the boots. Got my gloves on, helmet, and glasses and socks. I go to the door. As soon as I hit the door, man, when I tell you it was so cold out there, oh my God, it was 32 degrees. Now, once again, let's preface this. I'm a Florida guy, so we are not used to 32-degree weather. Like, that's not normal for us. Okay. We experience that probably once every, like, what's the solar eclipse? Like, we experience that like that. We don't experience 32 degrees down here. That's not a common thing. So when I walked outside, I was like, what the, I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was caught in the matrix, to be honest with you. It was so cold out there. I turned around, went back to the room, put on the heated gear. I get outside. It's a couple standing out there, and they got on a t-shirt and flip-flops and shorts. Both of them. And they sitting there like, you're pretty cold, huh? Man, I was out there like this. I was like, oh, I could see the smoke coming from my eyes. I didn't know what in the world was going on. I said from my eyes, from my mouth. I could see the smoke coming from my mouth. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, y'all are out here in t-shirt. They was like, yeah, it's only 32. I said, man, if y'all don't get out of here with that, said like, obviously I'm in Montana. So, they used to that kind of temperature up there. That's a different type of cold up there. But the crazy part was in the 2 hours later, it was 62. 2 hours later, it was 82. 3 hours later, it was 102. It got up to 109 degrees, Ron.
Damn.
32 degrees to 109 degrees in less than 6 hours.
And that's why you got to bring clothes for all different. I mean, you don't know what you're going to walk into or drive
Man,
right into.
man, I was so, listen, I ain't gonna lie, that part of the ride was extremely miserable because I'm riding in the heated gear and I get to 82 degrees and I got the heated gear on and I'm like, man, why am I so hot?
Yeah.
Then I had to peel out the heated gear. Once I realized what was happening, I was like, it's not cold anymore. Man, I was expecting it to be cold all day. That thing got so hot during the course of the day.
I'd rather
So
have cold. I
you rather
found
have
the
cold?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I'd
I
rather have
found the
heat.
gloves. Let me share the screen here. Hold on a second.
Let me see. Shout out to Fort Mose. My little whiskey glass, Fort Mose. We love Fort Mose. All right, let's see what you got here.
Now, these are Odin gloves, Odin MFG manufacturing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
These are the ones I'm getting next. These white ones.
Mm-hmm.
They breathe, and what's great about them, the index fingers pop off, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like you can squeeze your finger through it,
Uh-huh.
and you can use that for your phone or whatever you need to. So it's they have all kinds of styles,
I got you.
and the one I have is this one here, and they're just heavy duty. The thumb and the index finger come off. Like there's a little perforation here that you could just
Yeah, I
stick your
see
finger
it.
through.
Did you have
Great
the
gloves.
color? Which color did you have?
I had these, the like camel color ones. These
Were you military? You said camel color.
navy.
Navy. Now that's making sense now. Yeah, exactly.
Let me stop sharing this.
Yeah, that's something else, man. But man, I could sit here and talk to you about bike stories all day long, Ron. I got so many different ones from different things. uh, I got so many different ones. I'm gonna tell another good one. This was another good one. Then I'm gonna leave it alone after this. So I was in Idaho, and every when I was doing the cross country, I like to take pictures at the state line. Okay. Well, if you're going west towards Seattle, on 90, that's the main road that takes you from Boston to Seattle. If you go west, it's a Idaho sign there, and it was a young girl there. She so fine. She had to be about 25, 26 years old. She was out there smoking weed. She was out there smoking weed, and when she get out there, she was on this classic car that was like a turquoise car with a white hard top, with a white top. And so when I come out there, she was like, "Hey, bud, you want to smoke some weed?" And I was like, "No." So she was like, "Come on, man. We're at the Idaho state line." Like that's how she was talking. And so I'm sitting there like, "Nah, little mama, I'm good. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. You want something to drink?" Look at Sam Moore and call Navy. Uh-oh. That's what's up, Sam. But yeah, so we sitting out there, and so she peels off, she leaves, and I notice that there is a cave, like it's an entrance to a cave on the side of the mountain, right? Or like it wasn't a mountain, it was like a hill. And so I decided to go Facebook Live. If you go on my Facebook page to this day, you will see me walking down that cave and going down into the cave. It was back in 2020. And I'm walking down the side of the cave, and I was like, yo, this is not something normal that black people do, right? Like, we don't really walk down caves in Idaho with
That's
nobody
why you
out here.
guys aren't in. That's why you're not in any scary movies.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? We not in the scary movies. We don't specialize in swimming. You know what I'm saying? We it's just
Only,
not what
only,
we do.
only white people are stupid enough to go into a haunted house and
Hey,
get
for sure. I
caught.
don't want to be scared for fun. You know what I'm saying? But so I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna live life. I'm sick of this. I don't want to be afraid. I'm gonna just go down there. Let me just walk down this cave. Ron, I get down this cave. I get about maybe I'm probably maybe 50 yards in, 160 yards in. Something go like this. Wow. Man, I start booking out of that cave. Man, I started getting up out of there, boy. Listen, Ron, when I tell you I got up out of there so fast, the camera was shaking like this. And I was
It's on your
walking. I was
Facebook.
like, huh?
It's on your Facebook.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page. I don't know if they deleted it or took it down, but it was a long time ago. But that thing was on there, man. I was so scary. I ain't gonna even lie. That was too funny. I was trying to get on that. I was trying to get on that. I was trying to get on that. I think I cut it off before I started running. But all I heard was man. I got up out of there. I thought it was a mountain lion. Have you ever seen a mountain lion face to face? Like
No,
exactly. I never saw a mountain lion. I was like, at least I thought I heard one. I thought
yeah,
I
it's
heard
probably
one.
probably a little house cat.
It probably, hey, listen, it could have been a squirrel as far as I'm concerned, but that's what it sounded like to me.
Whatever makes you feel
Hey,
more like a
man.
man.
Hey, listen, I got up out of there. Hey, you know how you said you it's either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna make it through it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was getting through it, but I was getting through it a little bit faster. I was getting through it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was really a good one. I decided to go live. I cut that live off so quick. I'm sitting there like, yeah, guys, ain't nothing down. What if Bigfoot down here? I'm like joking and shit, like I'm playing around. Like, man, I heard that thing. It was a cougar, and that's
You
not the
think it was a
40-something
cougar?
year olds. It's not the 40-something-year-old women.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't them. There was the cougar, like a real cougar. He was trying to eat me.
We'll leave it at that.
Huh?
I said we'll go with your version.
We gonna go with my version. You
Yeah,
don't
your
believe it
version
was a
wins.
mountain lion? Oh
No.
man, Ryan don't believe it was a mountain lion down there. It was a
Nope.
puma. It was a
Puma now.
it
Okay.
was a panther. They got panthers in Idaho.
Yeah, you were in Wakanda.
Hey, for sure. Hey, my Aborigine people, they was with me. They was with me. Oh man, that's too funny.
We passed the hour mark here. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, yeah,
Surprised we
man.
even have anybody still watching, so that's good.
Hey, man, it's all good. Yeah, we get a few people come in peek at us. You know, we could be entertaining sometime, bro. We could be entertaining.
Especially with the combination of Proper 12 and
Hey,
which and
Proper 12 in Fort Mose. I don't have no more Fort Mose. What's going on?
we'll get some.
Don't worry, I am. I'm gonna go. You know what? Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and close this up
Hold on.
right now.
I'm gonna close it down while you're gone. For those of you listening or watching this later, we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify and a few other ones. So if you happen to be downloading this off Apple Podcast or listening later on, hit the like button there, and if you put a little review on there, it will definitely help our show get out there. So for everybody else on YouTube, we'll try to do the same thing next week.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Hey, also, if anybody's in here, you know what? If it's anybody in here and they ride motorcycles and they want a little bit more education about long distance riding, feel free to reach out to us, man. Either one. You can hit us on our YouTube channels, on our Facebook pages. All of this stuff is like down here in the links. So those of you that are watching us live on Facebook and those of you that are watching us live on YouTube, just hit us up in our inboxes and we'll be more than happy, because even though we talked a little bit tonight about the certain things, those are just some of the main topics, right? There are a lot more deep dive details that go into long distance riding than what we talked about tonight. Okay, so just wanted to say that.
And for those of you that just got into riding, you don't know what you're missing if you haven't done long distance riding yet. There's nothing more liberating. That you talk about wind therapy. I'm obsessed with it, and I can't wait to go my next one. It's just you can't compare the feeling
for sure.
But
it's
we'll
definitely
talk more about that next show.
Absolutely.
And
all right, guys. Peace. Yep. Appreciate y'all.
Safe.
Absolutely.
See you next week.
All right.
All right. We're out.